So I think last class we worked on uh, reading the records and printing the number field value for the records. Right. Now, observe carefully. We are able to print the number this way. Getting it? So if you want to print other fields as well, you can still do, right? So other fields in the sense like along with number, if you want to print short description, right? If you want to print short description or any other field value, still you can do that. So observe carefully here. Same script could be used. Same script could be used, right? And so I have already written the number related syntax. So I can add other field as well here. So grtt9, okay, dot u underscore short underscore description. So this way I'm adding two values here. One is number and other is short description. So, but I can't simply write like this. I have to use joint here between these two. I should use some concatenator. Concatenator that is called plus is used as a concatenator to join the two inputs like this. To join the two inputs like this, we can use a plus operator, which is not only used for addition, but also to join the two values. To join the two values. So now we are joining short description and number output. So we can test. So copy the script. Go to scripts background, right? So this is what the number and this is what the short description. Click on run. Right. Some glide report again, syntax problem. Correct it in the notepad as well. See here. So this is number and this is short description. So this is number and this is short description. They're joined together. Getting it? They're joined together. So that's fine. But what I want to do is instead of joining completely like this, I want to have one uh, identifier here called a separator called colon. Colon. So that is something like this. Number colon short description. Right. So this is how I want to this is how I want to print the output. So there should be a colon in between number and short description as separator. So how can you do that? So now, so after number, what do you have? Colon, right? So after number, put colon like this, right? And this is a dynamic output. This is a dynamic output, but colon is something like a static constant. Okay. So what you can do? So put colon in the single quotes. Okay. So this is a static uh, constant, and this is a dynamic output. So you can use separator again, same concatenator. You can use concatenator, right? So this is a dynamic, but this is static. So you can put this in the single or double quotes. Getting it? So dynamic value joined using concatenator, the static colon, and again this colon is again joined with short description using concatenator plus operator. So plus is used both as addition as well as a concatenator. Getting it? So this is how you could. So now again, check this. See here, number, colon, and then short description. So here you see, there is no spacing between the number and the test. Okay, all are joined together. So what I want to do, I want to give some space. Okay, after number and before test, I want to give some spacing. So again, if you want to give some spacing, so here, whatever the column that you have put in the single quotes, give right space, left space. Okay, so this will be printed as it is. Okay, even the spaces will be printed as it is. See now, getting it? Following everybody? Now, so this way, I'm able to read the field values of records. So here, I've used this method directly, right? So variable dot field name, but ideally, you have to use some predefined methods of glide record, some predefined methods of glide record. What are they? So, so in order to read the field value, you have to use get value. Okay, you have to use get value in order to read the field value. So instead of directly writing like this, use get value. So how do you use this get value? Check it. Same syntax, no change, only one line change, right? So here, variable or object dot get value within brackets, pass the field name. Which field you want to read? Pass the field name. So it should be input parameter is field name. So get value of field name. So variable dot get value of the field name. Put it in the single quotes. Same here also. So get value of the field name. Getting it? Copy. Go to background script. Some problem. Missing. Right. So this is missing. So closing bracket is missing. So in this line, see here, we opened the bracket here, but we did not close it here. Getting it? So make sure brackets are closed properly. You can see. So now you can see the output. Same output. by using get value. Getting it? So get value is used to read the value present on the fields. So this is about the reading records, right? So observe carefully here. So you have used two conditions here. Status is open, category is hardware. These are the two conditions. So this is field operator value. This is standard way of using the add query method. But you can ignore few things here. So you can ignore few things. So whenever you're using equal to, okay, you need not use it. Whenever your condition should check equal to, then you can ignore this equal to. You can ignore this. If you are using other operators, definitely you should use operator. But if you are using equal to, you can directly like this, write like this. Field name and the value. Field name and the value. Getting it? So this way you can directly write. So same output will come. Okay, same output will be there. Again, square brackets missing. Again, bracket is missing. Let's correct here as well. Right? So you see here, still you're getting the output. So even though you're not using equal to operator in the add query. But if you're using any other operator, definitely you should use like not equal to or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Right? There are many other operators where you have to definitely use them. Okay. If your use case to write a script using them, you have to use them. You have to include them here. But for equal to, you can skip it. And one more thing here, I have two conditions here, right? Two conditions. Now, if the number of conditions increase, I have to write more add queries like this. If the number of conditions increase, right, then I have to write more add queries like this. So what is alternative for add query? Alternate method for add query, right? So that is add encoded query. Getting it? Add encoded query, pass the query condition. Getting it? So alternate for the add query is add encoded query. So now number of lines here are two here related to that query. So you can reduce that to reduce this into a single line using this add encoded query. So verify how. So variable. So same syntax, no change. So remove this. Okay. Add encoded query. Right. So within this, you have to pass the condition. So go to the list view, this tables list view. So this is the filter, default filter on the list view. So I'm trying to apply the filter now. State is status is open, and what is the other condition? Category is hardware. Right. So this is what. So query, there are two queries here. So place the cursor on the last query. Place the cursor on the last query. Right click, copy query. Okay. Click on this. Right. So how did we do? Place the cursor on the last query, last condition. Right click, click on copy query. Right. So you can check that here. The query is copied. So this is what the query, copied query. Status is open and category is hardware. So this is what the query. Put that into a single quote. Right. So put the condition in the single quote. This is a static quote, static query, right? So put that into a single quote. Copy the, so script is ready. So this is done. Add encoded query and the condition. Now go to the background script. See the same output. You're getting it. Clear, everybody? So whenever there are multiple add queries, instead of writing multiple add queries, you can use add encoded query. Able to follow, everybody?
Yes.
So this is about reading the records, right? So while is used for reading all the records matching with the condition, right? So if you want to read only first match record, you have to use if. So here, right? So if is used for, it is used to read the first match record. Okay, it is used to read the first match record. So instead of while, if you put if, check what happens, right? Check what happens. Instead of while, if you put if, copy the script, go to background script. See, I see only one record, right? First match record is showing up here. First match record is showing up here, right? So if is going to give you the first match record. Clear? Just a moment. Anybody not following? Right. So next we'll talk about update the records. Okay. So we have seen how to create a record through script, how to read records through script. Now we'll see how to update the records through script. Right. So generally, how do you update the records? First, you'll open the table and then you will apply the condition. You'll open the record, right? And then you will change the field values on the record and then you click on save. Right. So these are the manual steps. Okay. First we'll open the table, open the record, add the data onto the fields, and then click on save or update, anything. So that saves the record into the database table. Same thing that you should do, should convert the steps into a script lines. So first, go to the table, right? So go to the table. So that's nothing but touch the table by creating the object. Right. So how to create the object? New glide record. Right. New glide record variable grtt. Okay. Any name you can take. The glide record syntax should start with prefix called gr. Okay. Glide record variable should start with gr. So we are creating an object using glide record, right? So the variable should start with gr. So now condition. So after touching the table, we need to apply the condition. Same condition you can take. Same condition you can take. Say gr tt dot add query, add encoded query, and then dot query. So if you want to update all these match records, you can use while. If you want to update only first match record, then you can use if. So if you want to use if to update only the first match record, say grtt dot next. Okay. So if grtt dot next. So first match record will be looped into, and then what we want to do, we want to update the record. So what do you want to update? Any field value change. So variable dot. So previously we used get value to read the value present on the field. To read the value present on the field. But if you want to set the value onto the field, if you want to set the data onto the fields, but use a method called set value. Okay, set value, and set value will be something like this. Okay, set value will be something like this. The field name and the value. So this is what the set value method. Okay. So set value, the field name, which field we want to update? U underscore. So I want to update short description. Okay. Short description. I want to update short description. U underscore short underscore description. This is a field name. With what value I want to update? Updated through background script. Clear? So this is what the set value. Set value is just going to set the data onto the fields, right? Set the data onto the fields. After adding the data onto the fields, what do you generally do? Click on update or save. So we need to save it, then only the record gets saved. So same thing here also. You need to write an update syntax here. grtt dot update, right? So this is what the syntax is. You can try it. So we are just updating the first match record. See here, script completed. What is the operation that we did? Update. On which table? This table. How many records are updated? One record. So I can verify. See, this record got updated. This record got updated. Any questions? Any questions? Everybody clear? Alvelu, Mahesh, Murali, Sai, Shivshankar. All right. So for example, I have updated only the first match record. Now what I want to do is I want to update all the records matching with the condition. Just a moment. So update all the records matching with the condition. Same script you could use. Same script you could use. Instead of if, you can use while. Right? So copy the script. Go to background script. Click on run script. See here, updated the records. Which table? On this table. How many records? 3 records. So you can refresh and check. See here. So just now these 3 records are first 3 records are updated. You can see short description what updated to the text. Clear? So this is how you can update the records through glide record syntax. Next, delete. So delete the records using glide record syntax. So generally, how do you delete? Same process. Open the table, apply the condition, and if you open this record, you have a delete button. Click on this delete button. So it will ask you to confirmation. Then click on delete. So this is the process. So same thing, you have to convert the steps into the script lines, right? So first open the table. So same syntax could be used, right? Same syntax could be used. Instead of update, delete all the records matching the condition. So instead of this set value and update, you have to use a method called delete record method. So here the method is delete a record, right? So this is a method. So now we touch the table by creating the glide record object, applied the condition, and then queried, and then looping through all the match records. So whenever the first match record found, then we have to delete that record. So using grtt dot delete record. Getting it? So delete record. So first try with first match record. Okay. First try with one record. So now currently you have 4 records, right? Now I'm running the script, right? So I'm running the script. So observe carefully. Operation delete. On which table? On this table. Okay. How many records got deleted? One record. One record. So go to our table, verify. 4 records were there previously. Refresh. So now you see only 3 records. One record is deleted. Right. So now if you run the script again using while, so it's going to delete all the match records. See here, delete on which table? On this table. How many records? 3 records. Go to the table, list view. See, there are no records. Great. There are no records. Clear? So this way you can delete all the records. Any questions? Anybody has any questions?
So in delete operation, how we can delete a particular record?
That's what. You're applying filter condition here.
Oh,
So you have to add the condition here properly, which record you want to delete. So currently I'm saying status is open, category is hardware. So matching with this condition, there are 4 records. If you want to delete only particular record, what you can do? You can pass the SysID here, SysID of the record, something like this.
okay, sir. Thank you.
SysID is the identifier, right, for every record. So you can pass the SysID or you can say number is. So can say number equal to is the record present, it is deleted. So for example, I want to delete this record. So you can pass the field name equal to number like this. Try it. See here, deleted a record from this table. How many records? One record. Now you can open this. You will not see any record because it is deleted. Great. So that way. All right. So with this, we are good with the glide record. So we completed reading records, deleting, updating, and then creating records through glide record. Most important in the interviews, they'll test you on these things only. Okay. They'll ask you to write scripts. So they'll ask you to write scripts for these use cases. Right. So next, so let's talk about glide aggregate. So glide aggregate. So glide aggregate is similar to the glide record. Okay, but it has additional options. So this could be used for calculations, especially. This could be used for calculations. Main purpose is for calculations. So glide record, glide aggregate is similar to glide record. This API is mainly used for calculations. Okay, calculations. What calculations? We'll see. So calculations like minimum, maximum, average, sum, count. So these are the calculations that we can do using this glide aggregate. Right. So, so we learned about list calculations. If you remember, on the list view, we learned about list calculations. So on the list view, we learned about calculations. You see here on this updates, configure list calculations. So we have seen this during the list operations. So you can see these are the calculations that we could do. Total value, minimum, maximum, and average. See here. So these are the calculations which are calculated on the updates field. So minimum is the minimum value present on this updates field for all these records. So minimum is 0. Maximum is 5. So you see maximum value is 5. Summation is 9. Right? Sum of all these values. Average is nothing but sum of all these values divided by total number of records. That is 9 divided by 8. So that is 1.13. So these are the calculations that we have learned in the list calculations. Same calculations you can do on the using the glide aggregate. Same calculations you could do using glide aggregate. Right? So we'll learn about glide aggregate, how all these calculations can be done. Most important, these things are also asked in the interviews. Okay, very important. So observe carefully. First, let's learn about count. So count calculation. Count is nothing but calculating the total number of records count. Okay. Sum. Calculating the sum of the values. Present on a field for the given set of records. So minimum, calculate the minimum of values present on the field for the given set of records. Maximum, calculate the sum of values, not sum, maximum. Right? Average. Right? So now observe carefully. So let's learn about count first. So same syntax, similar syntax, what you have learned in the glide record can be used here for the glide aggregate. Only minor changes, but almost 80% of the code will be same. So in case of glide aggregate, there are two more methods that you need to know. One is add aggregate. Okay, add aggregate. The parameter, or you can say operation, and then the field. So add aggregate, it has the inputs like add operation and the field name. Similarly, get aggregate. So it also has operation and the field name. So add aggregate is nothing but it calculates the value based on the operation. Get aggregate is used to get the calculated value. Right? So this is what. So we'll see count. So count is basically to calculate the total number of records. Total number of records present on a table matching with the condition. Total number of records present on the table matching with the particular condition. So observe carefully. So let's see count. So generally, what is a format that you write this? So first touch the table, apply the condition and verify total number of records. Total number of records. So you see the count here. Same thing you could use here. Say new glide aggregate, right? Instead of glide record, we have to use glide aggregate. So what is the table name? So this is a table name. Copy and then assign this to a variable. So now use GA. GA is used for glide aggregate. So prefix as a prefix for the glide aggregate variable. So GATT9, right? Next, I don't have any conditions here, right? I'm not adding any conditions because records count is already less. So directly what I'm doing is GATT dot add query, not add query, add aggregate. Okay, add aggregate, same count. Okay, so see add aggregate operation and the field name. So for the count, you can ignore the field name. So just put count here. So it will give you the count. It will give you the count of total number of records. Now, sorry. So after applying this condition, what you can do? Write the syntax for query. Query is for running the table against this condition. Right. Next. So what you should do is you need to look through each record to get the count, right? So one by one, you have to read the record and get the count. So system does that. So we need to get the count of all of these records. So use while, and then so gr, not gr, ga, tt9 dot next. So now we need to print the count value. So declare a variable called variable cnt, okay, is equals to ga tt9 dot so get aggregate. So it is used to get the calculated value. So use that get aggregate. So here also you can ignore the field name, just write the operation. Right. So now this will give you the total number of records count. So this is the calculation part. This is the extraction part of the calculation. So value I'm storing it into a variable called CNP. Now print this count. So say count of records is. So this is static text. I'm putting in the double quotes or single quotes, and I'm saying CMP. So this is static text, but this is a dynamic value. So join both of them using plus operator. Getting it? So copy this, try executing it. See here, count of records is 8. Getting it? So total number of records are 8. So that way you can use this count operation. So only one change, that is instead of add query, you can still add queries as well, but I'm not adding it, directly using add aggregate. Add aggregate, count, and then get aggregate. So these are the only two changes as part of this glide aggregate. Any questions? Anybody has any questions? All right, keep practicing and let me know if you have any questions. We'll discuss in the next class.